Alabama looks to continue its dominance of SEC opponents in 2017, as the Crimson Tide head to College Station on Saturday night to take on Texas A&M. Alabama has won its last two games by a combined score of 12-53 and is nearly a 4-touchdown favorite over the Aggies. Texas A&M is also off to a 20 start in SEC play and has won 4 in a row since dropping the opener against UCLA. As the second full month of action in the 2017 college football season begins this week, it's clear Alabama is starting to fire on all cylinders. As mentioned previously, the Crimson Tide thoroughly dominated their last two SEC opponents and has won every game by at least 17 points. Quarterback Jalen Hurts looks more comfortable in his second year as the starter, and as usual in Tuscaloosa, the defense is among the best in the nation. After Saturday's game in College Station, Alabama won't have to hit the road again until November 11th against Mississippi State. It's no secret Texas A&M coach Kevin Sumlin is on the hot seat. And Sumlin's job didn't get any easier after the Aggies blew a 4,410 lead to lose 4,544 against UCLA in the season opener. However, the Aggies have quietly improved since that game. Freshman quarterback Kellen Mond is getting better with each snap, and the rushing attack is among the best in the SEC. Texas A&M has won 4 in a row, including a 2,417 victory over South Carolina last Saturday. This matchup against Alabama starts a key stretch of games for Sumlin. After the Crimson Tide, the Aggies have to take on Florida, Mississippi State and Auburn. It's not out of the question Sumlin's future could ride on how well this team performs over the next 4 games. Alabama owns a 72-series edge over Texas A&M. The Crimson Tide have won all 3 meetings in College Station and are 41 against the Aggies over the last 5 years in SEC play. Alabama at Texas A&M kickoff Saturday, October 7th at 7:15 p.m. ET TV channel ESPN spread Alabama 26.53 things to watch 1. Texas A&M QB Kellen Mond. Nick Starkel opened the season as Texas A&M's starter, but the redshirt freshman suffered a season-ending leg injury in the opener against UCLA. Mond finished the game against the Bruins and struggled to get the offense on track in the fourth quarter, completing just 3 of his 17 attempts for 27 yards. Those numbers weren't completely unexpected. After all, Mond is a true freshman and wasn't a finished product when he arrived on campus. However, after an uneven performance against Nicholls State in Week 2, Mond has played better over the last 3 games and posted a career high in completion percentage 70.4 in last week's win against South Carolina. Through 5 games, Mond is completing 54.8% of his throws for 808 yards and 6 touchdowns and has rushed for 252 yards and 2 scores. Mond has been especially productive in the run game against SEC opponents. In the 5,043 overtime victory over Arkansas, the true freshman rushed for 109 yards on 10 attempts. And against the Gamecocks, Mond posted 95 yards on 16 carries. While progress has been noticeable, Saturday night's matchup against Alabama is Mond's toughest game to date. The Crimson Tide are holding opponents to just 4.2 yards per play and 8.6 points per game. This unit is strong in the trenches as it has been in recent years, but Alabama's defense features plenty of talent, speed and athleticism across the board, along with a standout secondary. How will Mond perform in his toughest assignment? It's no secret Texas A&M wants to establish the run and take some of the pressure off his shoulders. Dual-threat quarterbacks have provided their share of headaches for Nick Saban's defense, but the Crimson Tide have made a few tweaks and scheme changes to better combat spread attacks. When Mond looks to throw, Christian Kirk 23 receptions is one of the nation's best playmakers and will also be a factor on special teams. But with Kirk likely to see some extra attention from the Crimson Tide defense, freshman Jamon Osborne and senior Damian Ratley will be asked to step up. If Mond can extend some drives with his legs and play mistake-free ball, Texas A&M will have a chance to keep this game close into the second half. This is the freshman's biggest test so far in 2017. Related college football predictions for every Week 6 game 2. Alabama's defense versus Texas A&M's ground attack. This is a strength versus strength matchup to watch on Saturday night. Alabama's run defense ranks number 1 in the SEC, limiting opponents to just 2.8 yards per carry and 73.8 yards per game. Only one opponent, Colorado State, has eclipsed the 90-yard mark on the ground versus the Crimson Tide in 2017. Despite the loss of standout linemen Dalvin Tomlinson and Jonathan Allen and linebackers Reuben Foster, Ryan Anderson, Tim Williams, this unit hasn't missed a beat. The next wave of stars in Tuscaloosa starts with linebackers Shondian Hamilton, Dylan Mosses and Rashawn Evans, with Darren Payne and Isaiah Buggs anchoring the three-man front. Senior Deshaun Hand started the first 5 games at end but suffered a knee injury against Ole Miss last Saturday and is out for this week's contest. In Texas A&am's 201,213 meetings against Alabama, Sumlin's offense generated 329 rushing yards. However, over the last 3 contests in this series, the Aggies have only 177 yards on 88 carries, 2.01 YPC. With Mond learning on the job as a true freshman, it's imperative for the offense to establish the run on Saturday night. Texas A&M is still looking for the right mix in the trenches, but the offense is averaging 5.3 yards per carry, bolstered by 6 rushing plays of 40 yards or more. Sophomore Travion Williams' 384 yards leads the way in the backfield, with Keith Ford's 302 yards providing a solid number 2 option for coordinator Noel Mazzoni. Additionally, Mond will contribute to the ground attack, giving Texas A&M 3 standout rushers to counter Alabama's front 7. Will Texas A&M's offensive line clear the way for Williams, Ford and Mond to have success on the ground, or will Alabama's defense dominate in the trenches and prevent the Aggies from getting traction in their rushing attack? If the Crimson Tide win this battle and force third-and-long situations all night, Texas A&M will have no chance to keep this game close into the second half. 3. Can Texas A&M slow down Alabama's offense? It's tough to read too much of stats through the first 5 games, but Alabama's offense leads the SEC in scoring average, 46.2 ppg. That's nearly an 8-point increase from 2016. New coordinator Brian Daboll has picked up where Lane Kiffin left off and continued to build on the previous play caller's success this year. Daboll's offense is also averaging 7.2 yards per play, has generated 6 plays of 50 or more yards, and is third in the SEC in red zone conversions. In other words, it's hard to find many flaws for this group. Quarterback Jalen Hurts continues to progress as a passer, connecting on 64% of his throws through the first 5 games and accounting for 241.6 total yards per contest. Hurts' favorite target is Calvin Ridley, 24 catches, with freshman Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs 3 and Devonta Smith and seniors Cam Sims and Robert Foster rounding out the list of key weapons. Considering Ridley has a commanding lead in catches for Alabama, 24 compared to 6 for Jeudy, Sims and Foster, Texas A&M's defense needs to find a way to make Hurts throw to his second and third options. As if slowing Hurts in the passing game wasn't enough, Texas A&M is going to have its hands full against the run. The Aggies rank 4th in the SEC against the run but surrendered 226 yards against Arkansas 2 weeks ago. The strength of coordinator John Chavis' defense is up front, but this is a tough assignment trying to slow Alabama's ground game. Hurts' 461 yards is the top statistical leader, with Damian Harris 376 and Bo Scarborough 239 headlining a deep stable of backs. Texas A&M ranks 12th in the SEC in scoring defense, 28 ppg, and is 11th in yards per play allowed, 5.68. Repeating those numbers or giving up more is not a recipe for success. One positive for Chavis has been the pass rush. Through 5 games, the Aggies have recorded 20 sacks, which ranks first among teams in the SEC. Texas A&M has to slow Scarborough, Harris, and Hurts on the ground on early downs to get Alabama's offense out of its rhythm. This unit needs to force long yardage situations and get off the field on third downs. If the Aggies consistently get the Crimson Tide into obvious passing downs, there's a good chance the pass rush can get to Hurts. Final analysis: Texas A&M needs a lot to go its way in order to win on Saturday night. The Aggies have to find a way to slow down Alabama's high-scoring offense, win the turnover battle, and generate consistent production of its ground game. The Crimson Tide have been nearly flawless over the last 2 games, and it's unlikely to stop on Saturday night. The home crowd will keep Texas A&M in it for the first half, but Alabama is simply too strong on defense and playing too well on offense to stumble in College Station. Once again, the Crimson Tide cruise to a victory in SEC play. Prediction: Alabama 41, Texas A&M 13.